Hey yo, it's your boy again. Hey, I don't know if I said Happy New Year's and Happy Holidays to everybody, but guess what? Happy New Year's and Happy Holidays. I'm saying it now, even though it's already February. This motherfucking year is flying. But we in here, back with another one. Let's go.
Doing hours of interview, and it just makes me happy that I knew this day was coming. Not that I knew, I worked my way into this position. And me seeing that, I know that I can manifest anything I want in my life.
In terms of moving back down to 168, is that out the window now?
I'm not going back down to 168. I don't care if Canelo, if he wanted to fight me and told me to go down to 168. I don't care about that money. I don't care about none of that. I was at 168 for a while. 3 years, I was #1 contender. I was not given that opportunity, so now I'm here at 175 fighting the guys that have balls that actually take on their #1 contenders.
Have you completely lost hope in that fight happening?
I don't think about that fight. I mean, I only think about what's on the table, and I only think about what's ahead of me. I knew that this fight was potentially, we could make it. We made it happen. Now I'm only thinking about this fight and then unifying the titles after.
Just some last quick ones for you, David.
Yo, it's your boy, Trouble T. Roy, Hit Don't Get Hit Boxing Talk, and back with another one, and it goes. Man, this past few days has been all over the place in the boxing world, like all over the place. But big news, it looks like Turkey got a four-fight deal for Canelo. It looked like Canelo accepted it. And that's pretty crazy news. Canelo about to do his thing. It looked like he's possibly going to be fighting School, I believe the IBF champion, the IBF belt that Canelo had to give up to Skull. He's going to be fighting him in May possibly, and then supposedly, I'm not sure if it's confirmed, but supposedly he's going to fight Terence Crawford in September, and then he has 2 more deals, which I'm seeing all kind of different things going on with 2026. Some people are saying that he may be lined up to fight the Bivol Benavidez winner, or I don't know. It's all kind of stuff. None of this is confirmed in my opinion. I mean, we just had the situation where they said that Canelo, a couple of days ago, they said Canelo was fighting Jake Paul. So I don't know what to believe. I'm just following what's going on. I'm between Twitter and, just other sources that I'm following. But for sure, it sounds like he is fighting Skull, and it sounds like he is going to be fighting Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford keeps pointing to a Canelo fight still, so it looks like that could be happening, which is good. Now, my whole thing at this point is I'm really tired of people bringing up Benavidez. Oh, he should fight Benavidez. Canelo should fight Benavidez. Canelo should fight Benavidez. David Benavidez. It's like, you know what? We gotta just leave that alone, because Benavidez himself said that he left that alone.
I'm not going back down to 168. I don't care if Canelo, if he wanted to fight me and told me to go down to 168. I don't care about that money. I don't care about none of that.
Even though Benavidez still continues to bring Canelo's name up, it's like, even still, he even said himself that he's past that. I mean, he moved up to 175. I don't think Canelo's fighting Bivol or Benavidez again, or Bivol again, or I definitely don't. He's fighting Benavidez. I think that's just a bad idea. Benavidez, he's kind of on this whole thing where it's like he's done this for the last few years, where he'll say one thing, then he'll backtrack and say something else. Like when he moved up to 175. Before he moved up to 175, he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go up to 175 and take over the division. You know, basically become undisputed." And then he goes up to 175 for his first fight. He don't look like no Mexican monster, like I've been saying for the last few years since Mike Tyson said it, because then nobody named him. He wasn't talking about, or nobody was talking about he was a Mexican monster until Mike Tyson said it. And he goes up to 175. He looks kind of like crap, in my opinion. He don't look good. He don't look like he's beating a top guy at 175. And then after the fight, he's debating whether he should go back down to 168. You know, and it's like, all right, you're already backtracking for what you said before. Then, you know, he goes, fights Morrell, goes the distance at that. Which, if you're any kind of monster, I don't think you're supposed to be going the distance with a guy with only 11 fights on his record before you guys met. If you're a monster, you're supposed to be, you know, you're supposed to be making looking like it. Last guy you stopped was a guy coming up in weight to 168, from 160 to 168. A dude who hadn't fought nobody in Demetrius Andrade. He came up in weight to fight you, and he had you looking crazy before you stopped him. But the fact is, this dude Andrade hadn't fought nobody in his whole career, nobody worth mentioning. And he goes up to 168. You stop him, but he had you looking crazy for a second. He gave up on the stool because he probably figured he didn't like the power. But it's like you beat a dude that didn't have no names on his resume. You know, you couldn't stop Caleb Plant, who Canelo stopped. You know, I mean, it's all these things we could go through. Then you go up to 175, and gosh, you go the distance with a guy who's a natural 175, and gosh, and you look average. Then you go and fight it. Go 12 rounds, all 12 rounds with him. Then you go and fight Morrell, like I said, 11-0, I believe he was. And you go the distance with him, a guy that's your size. It's like, it's interesting that David Benavidez, when he fights guys that's his size, he don't look, you know, he don't look like that guy that everybody's trying to claim him to be. The Mexican monster. No, he's not a Mexican monster. He's a dude from Arizona who has decent hands, but he can't land those shoe shines combos on people his size. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on now. I'm just getting tired, and these fans is crazy. Because every time they talk about Benavidez, Canelo's got to be involved. Just like when he talks, Canelo has to be involved. But the man clearly said in an interview he wants to be the top guy at 175. But when you bring up Benavidez and Bivol, he's backtracking on that.
Fine. So, like I said, this was a perfect opportunity for me to come up, win another belt, and but I still can make 168 easy. So we're still looking to come down to 168.
I'm not going back down to 168. I don't care if Canelo, if you wanted to fight me and told me to go down to 168. I don't care about that money. I don't care about none of that. I was at 168 for a while.
Literally says, "Oh yeah, well, you know, they're probably gonna have a trilogy." He said that before Turkey said there would be a trilogy. He was already claiming it, because it's like, we already know why you're doing that. It's because you don't want that fight. You don't want to fight Benavidez. You definitely don't want to fight Benavidez. You'll fight Bivol because you guys have a history of sparring, so you think you might be able to get him, but that's a whole nother thing. you have to come in shape. You have to make 175 just like he has to make 175. And I have a feeling that you probably sparred Bivol. You was probably pushing like 200 plus pounds when you sparred him. So yeah, it might be a different fight in the sparring, in the ring sparring. But when you got to come in and make weight, you can't be that bully. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. You know, it was mentioned that you might go to cruiserweight and fight Zerto. I don't think you beat Zerto either. I'm just saying. But all in all, you know, I'm just tired of backtracking with not only Benavidez, David Benavidez himself and his father, but also the fans. The fans keep saying, oh, well, Canelo ducking Benavidez. Canelo ducking Benavidez. How's Canelo ducking Benavidez when Benavidez is the one who decides to go up and wait? And he literally said, yeah, you know, I'm not even chasing that fight. Basically, I'm not worried about that fight no more. That's in the past. I'm moving on. I want to take over 175. But when you're asked about fighting the winner of Beterbiev and Bivol, the only person you mention is Bivol because you have history in sparring. Ain't nobody talking Beterbiev. People need to start respecting Beterbiev. I don't know. It's still a 50-50 fight to me. Bivol, he could work out a new game plan possibly. I think as far as that rematch, he could work out a new game plan. He says he needs to throw more, but I think his defense is what saved him in the last fight and what kept him in the fight, because I don't think you want to throw more against somebody like Beterbiev because you're leaving a lot of openings. That's just my opinion. I figure fight the same fight because it was a close fight. Fight the same fight, but just be a little more aggressive, I guess. Throw a little more, but don't be over aggressive because Beterbiev will find a hole and he'll hit you and he'll hurt you because he was rocking Bivol in the first fight. So I don't know. That's just a whole nother thing, and we'll talk about that closer to the fight date. I'll probably do another video about that, in my opinion, because I'm still right now. I don't have an answer. I didn't have an answer for the first fight, so I probably won't have nothing for the second fight. But yeah, so they're saying that if Bivol wins, there will probably be they'll probably make it a trilogy, which then pushes back Benavidez, who's supposed to fight the winner of that fight. And it's almost like Benavidez is. This is the only thing I didn't like what Turkey has done so far, where he said that it was going to be a trilogy. It's like, bro, you're saving Benavidez now. You're protecting him. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose or he just thinks. I mean, a trilogy is not a bad thing. If Bivol wins, yes, I would love to see a trilogy. But honestly, I want to see Benavidez actually be challenged now too. I say, okay, if Benavidez isn't fighting the winner of the second fight, get him in there with Yard, or get him in there with I don't know, Caleb Smith. I think he's still at 175. I don't know if he moved up or if he's still there. Get him in there with I mean any opponent that Bivol or Beterbiev, any top guy that Bivol or Beterbiev has beaten already, to see where he really is at 175. Because I don't think he's going to be that guy at 175. I don't think he's as powerful as everybody makes him out to be. I don't think he has that power that everybody, for some reason, thinks he has. Because you wouldn't be going at 11 or 12 rounds with a dude with only 11 fights, because he's your size. When you fight smaller dudes, it's like, yeah, oh yeah, he gonna get him out of there. But when this guy's his size, you know, he don't get him out of there. You know, so that's my whole thing. And these fans is like, Canelo doesn't need Benavidez. He doesn't need him. Benavidez is not like a fighter that's accomplished so much. This dude, his biggest accomplishment was losing his belt twice for drugs and for being overweight. It's like, that's your biggest accomplishment in the sport. You beat Andre. Oh, great. Who cares? You beat Plant, but you let Plant go 12 rounds with you when Canelo actually stopped him. Like, let's leave the Benavidez Canelo thing. That's a dead thing now. It could happen down the line. Maybe 2026, Canelo might say, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and give the fans what they want. I'm gonna beat Benavidez' ass. It's because you guys keep asking me. It's like Canelo ain't got nothing else he needs to prove. I only really like the fight between Canelo and Crawford. If it happens, I like the fight, but I don't like it because it's like neither one of them have anything to really prove. And the thing is, if Canelo beats Crawford, he doesn't get credit. If Canelo loses, people are going to try to take credit away from him. So it's a lose-lose situation for Canelo. So that's why I really don't care to see the fight, because I'm a fan of both of them. They're both greats in their own rights. You know, but if the fight happens, I'm watching it. And I'm rooting. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I can't even say I'm rooting for Crawford because, like I said, I'm a fan of both of them. So it's not. But I will root for I like rooting for the underdog, of course. That's how I am. So I'm not saying that every fight, but I will root for the underdog, which will be Crawford in this case. I'm rooting for Crawford, but if Canelo beats him, I ain't gonna be mad. I'm gonna be like, hey. It's the difference. This is Crawford going up in weight classes just to fight this man. But we still talk about Benavidez, who's not even sure. We don't even know if he's willing to take on the best at 175, because he's already. The rumors is he might go up to cruiserweight, which is avoiding the best at 175. I don't even think Benavidez beats somebody like Yard, because Yard is a good fighter. I would like to see that fight. That's a good fight, because we all know Yard likes to fight on the inside. You know, and that's a fight that, and he ain't gonna stay in the same place either. Yard does have decent footwork. He ain't gonna stay there and let you punch on him like all these fighters that Benavidez fought. So basically, you know, and I finally got to, because I was busy during the Morrell fight, but I finally got to watch it. And it's like Morrell just didn't do enough. Maybe he would have done more. He probably would have won more rounds, but Morrell just didn't do enough, and that's an inexperienced fighter. It's not a bad thing. He's young. He's only 11 fights in. He's probably just gonna get better from this point on if he works on it. But we don't know. We don't know how that's gonna work. So it is what it is. I like Morrell. He's a decent fighter though, but he just didn't do enough against a guy that you have to do a lot against, because Benavidez is known for throwing a high volume of punches. Landing or not, he's gonna throw punches, and that's what makes Benavidez. I'm not even saying that, like, I'm not a big fan of Benavidez, but I'm not saying he's a bad fighter either. He just isn't what people are making him out to be. I think people need to understand that if he don't take the winner of Beterbiev versus Bivol, if he don't take the winner, then he can stop. I ain't never called him no monster. And Nue's a monster. You know what I'm saying? That's the real monster in boxing right now. Inoue. Usyk is a monster. He came up from cruiserweight to just do damage to a whole weight class of dudes 200 plus. That's a monster. That's what shows me. That's you talk about monsters. That's who I'm going to name. Crawford in his fourth division became a champion. That's a monster. Canelo, that's a monster. People are like, oh well, he ain't knocking nobody out. Canelo's at 168 and he's not even that big. He's not even that big. But he took over a whole division and went up to 175 and beat a killer in Kovalev. And dared to be great and went up to fight Bivol, who I think beats the shit out of Benavidez. Anyways, that's how I'm gonna just leave it here. I'm in 17 minutes now. Yeah, that's just how I feel. It's your boy. Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, share. and all that good shit. It's your boy, Trumpet T-Roy. Don't get hit, boxing talk. Be back with another one soon. All right, y'all. Peace.